Yo! Hey everyone! So I'm just going to be talking about ice bath stuff today. After this little me talking, there's a video of me and Kettle like jumping in and out of the ice baths. There's some information there. We're getting really cold. It's cool. Check it. Also, I'll be talking about what we do in the ice baths and some of the benefits of them. And also, I have an article coming out pretty soon. It's just taken me a while to find all of the right studies because there are some questions that I need answered and it's hard to find them all. So one of the things that we do when we actually get into the ice bath, what I like kind of coach people almost to get in, because it's you know, it's 1 degree, like, or even under 1 degree, 2 degrees, you get in this water. It's that cold that it's quite a shock to the old system. So well, basically you have like your diaphragm sits under your lungs, and when you breathe in it comes down, right, creates a vacuum and air comes in, and then breathe out, goes all the way out. Right underneath your diaphragm is like a pool of blood down here, and you also have like veins and arteries, and like the deeper your diaphragm goes, basically the more blood gets into it and more blood gets pumped around the body, and then when you breathe it up and out, it all needs to get out. So that's how that kind of works. So if you're focusing on some deep belly breaths when you get into the ice bath, it's just like, it really works. So some of the benefits, it actually increases your immune system. That has been proven. It's good for a temperature regulation with your body, helps your body like regulate temperature. There's heaps of brain benefits. It releases like cold shock proteins in your brain and a whole bunch of norepinephrine, so you get a huge mood boost afterwards, which is like why I do it on like Friday with a few mates, because we all just get like charged from jumping in. Feel real good. One thing that's really important to notice when you actually get in there is what we always say is that like sensation is just a sensation. It's not good or bad. The cold isn't good or bad. It's just an experience. So there's some crazy like mental benefits from like getting in the ice bath, and I experience this like the more I do ice baths, the more I experience it, and it's like, I guess, the more resilient you get. So like trying to get into something that cold is like really hard to do. And you kind of notice like when you're in there, you kind of just got to think to yourself, you know, this is just a sensation right now. So when you're like later on, like just when you're living life and you kind of feel emotional about something, you could feel angry, you could be in the gym and you're training really hard. All of those things are just sensations, whether it's emotion or it's some sort of pain or it's some sort of struggle. And then you just kind of think to yourself like, oh, you go back to the ice bath and you're like, oh yeah, this is just sensation. I just need to like disconnect myself from it. And it's really kind of meditative in that perspective. And it also forces you to be really present, because like you can't really focus on too much else except like your body for the first minute and a half, because it's so goddamn cold. What is kind of questionable is that it increases sex hormone. There are some studies that say it doesn't. There are some studies that say it does. And from my experience with people jumping into the ice bath, I get messages the next day saying, oi. So I can say I'm pretty sure, well, I would be extremely positive to say that yes, it does that. What else have I got here? So, but maybe just go through some of the rules of it. So, like the first minute to a minute and a half, it's so cold, and you really got to like focus in disconnecting yourself and realizing that it's just a sensation. And then eventually it gets easier. We have this thing we call, it's just like called chill zones, when your body goes numb. And then as of about 6 to 8 minutes in, like afterwards, your body starts to actually adapt to the cold. And then like you're pretty sweet for a while. After 20 minutes is when like mild hypothermia sets in. If you're not cold adapted, you do like a test, you go like this, and if you can still talk properly, you're pretty all good. But some other benefits that come from the ice bath is that it burns heaps of fat. You got all this brown fat on your chest and all this brown fat on your back, and brown fat is basically oxidized fat. It's not like the fat that I carry around here. It's not like that white fat that we carry around there. So brown fat, like when it's activated, burns fat, and like you shiver heaps. The cold forces you to shiver. It's kind of like intentionally telling you to move to warm yourself up and burn those calories. So where some of the questions that we get in, well, some questions that I have, which I haven't landed on yet, is like, After gym, they've done a study, like if you train and then go straight to the ice bath, it's not good because it goes through this process called vasoconstriction, and that basically like shrinks your blood vessels and stuff. So after gym, if you jump in every single time, like straight after gym, you're gonna like lose muscle gains. But in saying so, you get a way better sleep in the night beforehand and you gain muscle when you sleep. So it's like, okay, what's the go there? But anyway, after you train, you have like a 1 to 2 hour inflammatory response where your body is basically sending blood to the muscles to heal it all up, and then it slowly like goes away. So the question is like, okay, do we have an ice bath? Like, can we have them 2 hours after training? Can we have them before we train? Because if we vasoconstrict first and then train, all of our muscles are going to get warmed up. We're going to feel like, you know, like we're not going to be cold anymore. So you should still be able to, you know, make muscle gains and things like that. Or do we do it in the morning, train at night, or we just do it in the day off? So at the moment, I'm playing it safe, and I'm doing it on Mondays and Fridays, my actual rest days. If anyone knows anything about that or has any studies, like please send me. I would love to know. But I think that's pretty much it at the moment. If anyone wants to like jump in and actually try the ice bath and, you know, see how, you know, mentally strong they are, just sing out, send me a DM, and we'll see if we can schedule you coming in to check it out, because it's quite an experience, that's for sure. So I hope you enjoy the rest of this video of me and Kettle jumping in and out, and have a sweet day wherever you are.
The small things, true care, truth brings. I'll take one left, you're right, best trip. Always, I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting.
Cycle just on 11 minutes.
I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home. Keep your head still. I'll be your thrill. The night will go on. My little windmill.
Face starting to get real cold. I don't know how you're so calm when you do it.
So I will not go. Turn the lights off.
Like I'm breathing hot air onto my hands. Also, one thing I forgot to mention beforehand was the sleep benefits you get from a cold shower. Please excuse Kettle shaking of the camera. He's hit after drops real bad at the moment. But yeah, he sleeps like an actual baby. A lot of like the people in our group that jump in an ice bath wear Oura rings, and it's interesting looking at people's like results, because a lot of people just get like these crazy Oura ring scores from like after the ice bath when they sleep. It's pretty good. Let's still do this. So one thing as well that we say when the ice bathing is you don't want to get out at a certain time. So we set like a certain kind of time limit, but then what we'll say to someone who's in the ice bath is, alright, 3 or 4 deep breaths, get yourself really calm, and then get out, which is what I'm going to do now. So cold, man. I look red, I look like Jigglypuff. Patrick from SpongeBob. Oh! That was a hard one on the toes today. That was a hard one on the toes.
Think I can fly.
Trick is now is to like keep moving, because you feel real good for like 10 minutes, then after doc's just gonna come in and make you so they gotta like get yourself internally warm. Oh. Good.
Even if we're strangers till we die.